Good morning. I'm not sure who just joined, but it's Sarah and Melissa. Yay! If you guys can all just give me a lot of hearts, I am going to share my story today, and I'm a little nervous. So, got some old pictures out, Melissa. I'm actually diffusing some Melissa and Peace and White Fur. I just saw an Instagram post by Michelle Cannon. She shared that it's really beneficial to get rid of negative thoughts and yeah, just reset your mind, which I'm ready for. So, we are getting ready for the Supporting Your System series. And so, first off, just Periscope basics. I think you guys all know this. Hearts, you tap the screen to share, swipe to the right, and then click share with your followers. If you can do that, that'd be awesome. Our goal really in this for Melissa, myself, Londa, and Emily is to really help support you all in your health journeys, and hopefully teach you something new that brings results and helps you guys, to live a healthy life and be able to live your purpose that God has you here for. So before we jump into the cardiovascular system next week, I wanted to go ahead and have each of us share a little bit of our stories. And I know yesterday Melissa shared, and she is an incredible mama that I look up to a lot, and I've learned so much from. I am a mama to one now. His name's Elliot, and I am totally a first-time mama. All those typical things that people laugh about with first-time moms, that's totally me. And I'm so thankful to have essential oils in our journey for that purpose. And I am a wife. My husband's name is Tyler. I am 5 years post-college, and just, Callie, lots of love. Anyway, sorry, I'm, I think 5 years post-college, almost 5 years married, and I went to Northwestern in Orange City. I grew up in a small town on a farm near Scotland, South Dakota. And so our family was typical in the way that we took care of ourselves. We did, 5 years, honey, that's exciting. Anyways, we were typical in the ways that we took care of ourselves. I would say my mom did a really good job of making more things from scratch than I know other people grew up with, and I'm thankful for that. But I mean, I did not eat veggies. I exercised a lot, but that was because I was an athlete, and that was the reason I knew it to be important, was just because I wanted to be good at it. And so I practiced it a lot, not necessarily because I knew it was super good for my health, even though it is. So ultimately, my sophomore year of college, I started to struggle with a lot of, sorry, my lighting's not the greatest. I started struggling with a lot of body image issues. And I had gained a little bit of weight my freshman year, and had a lot of fear about, just not being big and weighing a lot, and I was self-conscious and all those things. So my sophomore year, I really started to like over-exercise and count out my calories and everything. And this whole time, even in high school, my acne was really terrible. I had went to tons of dermatologists and all those things. And then fast forward into college, it like still continued to get worse. And I'm just gonna flip the camera and show a few pictures. And again, please just give me some hearts, not because of what the pictures show, but just because it's taken a lot of courage for me to share. And ultimately I'm sharing because I hope it helps you, and I hope you can relate, and I hope therefore something that we share from our health journeys can help you in yours, or people that you know in yours, in theirs, sorry. So anyways, I'm going to pictures. I don't know how well you can see these. These are obviously super flattering basketball pictures, but right there, yes, it is kind of hard to see. I think you can see the redness on my cheek, but it's actually two big old zits, and that were like hard, and like the cystic type acne. And you can see it in all of these pictures. Obviously I was super thin because at this point, again, it was a super dark point in my life, my junior year of college, and I was still struggling with my eating disorder. I mean, it was never an extreme thing, but for sure something that wreaked a lot of havoc, especially in my mind, because I was constantly worried about how much I was eating and how much I was exercising for the sole purpose of how I looked, and my skin was terrible with acne. It was just not fun. And then obviously I started dating Tyler. He spoke a lot of truth into my life. And then that year afterwards, I started working my first job at Inspired Chiropractic, which is a chiropractic office with Maximize Living, and they have offices all around the U.S., Canada, and Puerto Rico. But the thing that's unique to them is they teach a lot about holistic health, and it honestly flipped my world upside down. I had never learned to think about health in that way. And that really ultimately is the reason I ever got into essential oils, because before that I would have cared less. I would have done things just like every other American does with drugs, and nothing natural or holistic. And so for me, I had struggled with a lot of sleeping issues in college. I had had a car accident, and then post-car accident, slept maybe 5 or 6 hours a night. I'd wake up at like 4:30 in the morning and couldn't go back to sleep. Sometimes I'd even go to bed at 2 from writing a paper, and I'd wake up at 6 and I couldn't go back to sleep. It was awful. And once I started getting my first adjustments, it changed my life. I was sleeping 9 or 10 hours a night. It helped me in a lot of issues that I had hormonally, obviously, from the ways I had been taking care of myself food-wise and exercise-wise. I was not taking care of my hormones long-term, even though in my mind I saw it as something that was good, because I was skinnier than I was when I didn't count calories and exercise like a maniac. And so anyways, I got a lot of freedom when I started learning about how God made the body to function. And so ultimately, as we dive into this series, that's why we want to include some of the lifestyle habits, because we know that those are really important too. And those things are going to help support your use of essential oils. Essential oils for sure are effective. And for me, what that looked like was, even though I had changed a lot of things in my health, learned a lot of things about holistic health and natural food, and eating a way that was balanced and not way overboard, and wrecking my body with way too much cortisol because I was doing too much of it. Even though I was doing those things, they didn't actually help my skin change and clear up. It had been probably about 3 years of changing things in my lifestyle, and I didn't see a difference, and that might have still came in time. But for me, when I started my essential oil journey, I was really excited because I learned about how you could use it in your skincare. And some of you guys know a little bit about that because I did some scopes about what I do now for my skincare. But when I started using oils about 2 to 3 months afterwards, my skin was just way different. I finally was seeing results after going to dermatologist after dermatologist, and trying Proactive and all the possible things that you could think of that were in Walmart. I swear every time I went to Walmart growing up, I would grab a new one to try it, and thinking that it was my solution. And obviously they have great marketing that you read about on the packaging, and then you get home and you try it and you're like, oh, this isn't actually helping me. And so anyways, when I started using oils, it changed a lot with my complexion and the results I was seeing. And that was what really opened my eyes. I started exploring more, and just have experienced so many benefits of essential oils now in our home. And so that is a big reason why I'm so excited to get into this series about supporting your body systems. We really want to be able to empower you with not only lifestyle habits, but also essential oils, and how do you use them in your routine, and how do you use those to support the health in your body. Our team, made up of Melissa and then Emily and Londa, and there's a lot of other girls, but those are going to be the main ones sharing on Periscope and Instagram. is called the Living Drop Collective, and one of our main values is education. We're extremely passionate about education because really education, when it's applied, can be really powerful in people's lives and can create transformation, and that's ultimately what we want you to get out of this series. And so obviously if you have questions, post them over on Instagram to our accounts. We're getting ready again for the cardiovascular system next week, so if you have specific questions on that, don't be afraid to reach out. And again, make sure that you're sharing with these posts with your friends, especially if you know that people are struggling in certain areas. We'd love to be able to help them and empower them ultimately in their journey. So thanks for joining, and yeah, we're excited to get started. Oh, one other thing that I wanted to share. I shared a little bit about Melissa. Coming up is going to be Emily periscoping. And she is another awesome mama. She has 2 little boys, and she'll share more about her life. But her joy and her knowledge are infectious. So just be prepared to be empowered by her as well. And then Londa is going to be sharing mostly via Instagram, and she has had an incredible journey, and she has done a lot of things in her life to boost health. Also done a lot of things for her son Brian, and so she knows from experience a lot of these things on how ultimately to build health in the body and see results. So look out for her posts as well, because they'll be super helpful. And again, we're excited to start the series next week. Thanks for joining. See ya.